I'm Nat Parker. I'm the CEO of GlobeSherpa, and we make mobile ticketing easy for public transit riders. So we let you buy and use your ticket directly from your phone.
How did you get started?
The idea came about when I was a graduate student at PSU, and I had written a business plan actually for a travel guide on your phone. This was in 2007 when the iPhone first came out. And I met my business partner, Michael Gray, who's a software engineer. He read the plan and said, "This is really cool. Are you going to do this?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about software." And so we got together and started chatting. The idea evolved over various different app ideas, and we landed at the public sector of all places. We found that the public sector was really woefully underserved by good smartphone applications. And within that, we found that transit and parking in particular had really common problems and recurring revenue opportunities in ticketing and payments. So here we are today, powering mobile payments for both.
How are you marketing the business?
So far, so good. We just signed our contract with TriMet here in Portland. So they are our marquee customer, our first customer. And that's really important because TriMet is it's sort of the big dog in transit management nationally, really regarded as a vanguard in deploying new innovative technologies. They were the first transit authority to work with Google to expose APIs that third-party developers like GlobeSherpa consume and use to expose things like real-time arrival information for buses and trains. So other authorities nationwide really are looking to see how they tackle mobile ticketing, and we're the technology that's going to do it for them. So we're in a private alpha test with them now. We'll do a public beta with real transit riders January of 2013, and then we launch in April of 2013.
How have you funded the business so far?
For several months while I was in school trying to raise money and just kind of build the company, I was basically knocking my head against a wall, just telling people, hey, here's the idea, we really want to build this thing, and just getting rejected again and again and again. People saying you're not far enough, you've got to quit your job, you're just not there. And we actually wrote an email to all of our friends and family and supporters saying, hey, I think we're going to just close up shop. We can't seem to get it together. Thank you for your support, but we just haven't done it. And then this one day, I was riding my bike downtown. I was going to a concert. And I see this guy driving next to me he's in a yellow Tesla, the electric sports car. Sort of nerdy looking dude, had this goatee. And I rode up next to him, and the light stopped, it turns red. So I roll up next to him. I'm like, yo, nice ride. You want to fund my startup? And he laughs and ha ha ha, and takes off with the torque, takes off. Damn it. So I see him and I see the light ahead turn yellow. So I'm like riding my bike, riding. I come up and I'm like, I'm serious. Do you want to fund my startup? I'm Nat. GlobeSherpa makes mobile ticketing easy, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, have you ever heard of Claris Works? And I said, yeah, I used that when I was like 11 years old. He goes, I wrote that and I sold it to Apple. I'm Scott, here's my card. So he gave me his card, and Scott Holdaway, 2 breakfasts later, he invested $50,000 in GlobeSherpa. And that was the turning point that got me confident that we could do this. And then at the beginning of this year, we successfully raised a seed round of $500,000 for the company. Thanks in large part to TIE Oregon, the Indus Entrepreneurs, Portland Seed Fund, and the Alliance of Angels in Seattle.
What advice do you have for budding entrepreneurs?
I think you need to have a real sense of yourself. If you're an entrepreneur, you really need to understand your own capabilities, your own limitations, your own shortcomings, and be willing to be coached and take advice, take criticism, frankly, and not really be brought down by it, but be built up because of it. And that's hard. It's really hard to be challenged when it works so perfectly in your mind and someone tells you that's dumb shit. Like, why would you do that? But ultimately, your ability to consume other people's good advice and make the best of it, I think, is what you need to do as an entrepreneur. You also just need to be really good at capturing your idea quickly, succinctly, and effectively to raise money, you have to be confident as well. Even if inside you think you're totally screwed, you've got to be like, we're going to get that done. Even the way we started GlobeSherpa, when I contacted TriMet, I was a grad student. I didn't have a company. In fact, the night before my meeting with the guy at TriMet, I called Michael, my co-founder, and said, hey, can you drum up a picture of a ticket on a phone, on an iPhone? And we incorporated that screenshot into a one-page executive summary that I wrote, and just showed up to the meeting saying, hey, here's who we are, we're just students, but we think this is a good idea. And that has since evolved into a major contract and a major company. So I think the willingness to say, hey, here's who I am, but here's who I think we could be, that's the space to really exploit.